Essentially, as she is actually looking over this letter, the door is slamming shut behind her.
Like slamming shut, like in a hurry?
Like maybe not in a hurry, but it's horror, so it's maybe more in a creepy way.
I want to try to hold it open.
As far as I knew before, Sarkis was basically messing with one of the armors outside, and I think Flea was basically at the desk, looking over everything on the desk when Key got in there.
Oh yeah, depending on your time frame or whatever, at the end of the session I had like moved over to the room, but I don't know how fast the door is shutting or anything. I think she basically just said there was like a secret room and then we kind of came over.
Does she hear the doors like trying to swing shut?
It's rather silent until you actually hear the slamming of the door behind you. But I believe you did not have light, so it would get pretty dark.
Being the rogue, Lee is going to examine the bookcases to see what we have as far as potential levers to open it.
Can roll a perception. What's your perception bonus? +1? Yeah, that doesn't matter. So you see one book that seems out of place. It seems to be an actual wooden, more like a frame than actual book. What are you doing when the door shuts, Key? Or Kavi?
Well, noticing that she's in sudden darkness, she's kind of just like sulking and thinking to herself, "Not again." Then,
Right.
then for a moment, she realized she has torches, so she lights one.
Gotcha. And I feel like Sarkis was the other one with a torch before Xavier was carrying light. I think he had lit up a piece of one of his items.
And when we rebound,
Alright, now I'm getting like a crazy echo, I feel like, from Al.
I picked up a candle when we were downstairs in the dining room to go look at the other mantelpiece.
Gotcha. So what's everyone doing?
She's still seeing if there's anything else in the chest other than just the letter.
There's actually a few books inside of there, as well as a few more pieces of paper.
What are the? As she like flips through the books, is she able to read them?
The first book that you grab for seems to be entirely empty. There's 3 of them total, though.
She pockets the empty one, thinking like, "Ooh, new journal." Then she like, goes through the other 2.
Empty as well.
For both of them?
All 3 of them are empty.
She pockets them.
I would like to tap my staff on the door and just say, Kavi, can you hear us in there? How did you get in?
Flea noticed the fake book, so I don't see any reason why he wouldn't tell you when he notices.
Yeah, I was going to ask him if we should try to open it now.
Yes, I was in the other room. I didn't see how she did it. Try and open it up.
Here we go. I'm opening it.
The door opens for you, and you'll see Kavi just inside. She seems to be like hunched over a skeleton on the ground, looking inside of a chest on the ground, and then there's 2 bookcases behind her in front of you.
Oh, that's reassuring. I was worried for a moment. I thought we lost you, Kavi.
I hear the sound of voices. She jumps up and like goes into like almost like a salute type of posture before calming down and noticing it was the other 2.
So you just like pop to attention?
Yeah, basically, because that's how she was trained to do.
So what did you find in here?
I found letters and books. Then she goes down and shows like, uh, one letter she found and read, and hands it to them while she like reads through the others.
So the first letter that was in the skeleton's hand, that's the letter to Gustav Durst. The other ones that you would find in there, as you go through, you would notice are a will, the Durst family will, that essentially wills the house as well as the windmill to the children. And then you find the deed to the Durst Manor, as well as the deed to the Durst windmill. And then roll an Arcana check. Does anybody else have Arcana as a proficiency?
I do.
I do not.
Yeah, but you're the only spellcaster in the actual group, so you get to roll it anyways. Flea, you can roll an Arcana check as well. Alrighty, so as you look over, basically there were 6 sheets of paper in there. You found the 3 blank books. You recognize them for what it's worth as blank spell books. They're pretty expensive, pretty valuable. Possibly just as valuable to you as actual journals. The deed to the house, deed to the windmill, the signed will, and then 3 scrolls. You would recognize, I think, all 3 of them as being things that you understand the general idea of, but not necessarily magic that you can use. But I will edit this so they will show up in the player or the party loot list for you all. Bless, protection from poison, and spiritual weapon. I feel like protection from poison might be one that bards can learn, but I'm pretty sure those are all things that you would have to use magical secrets to learn. And that's one of the things about a bard finding scrolls is you almost understand the magic, but it's the type of thing where you would have to learn it specifically as a magical secret.
When I was checking the desk, you said I'd found a key. Did I find anything else in the drawers?
The drawers themselves were empty. It was just the key in the drawers. Everything else on the desk were like the little knickknacks that were on top. I think that was the Durst seal. I think it was a dry inkwell, a piece of parchment. I think it was a quill.
I'm going to take the key and the signet.
It's not a signet ring. It's an actual, like, just the seal. It's like a stamp.
Like a wax seal?
Yeah. I feel like a signet implies that it's a ring that serves the same purpose, but it's slightly different.
While you all were in here exploring this room, we found something rather peculiar, a picture in the other room, and it appeared to have a mother and father and the 2 children from outside, but the children spoke of another, said that he was in need, and that's why we came in here, but why would there be a 3rd child? Something doesn't seem right. Who is this Walter character?
How old, or based on the size of the skeleton, is that a child, an adult, whatever?
Do a medicine check. It seems to be somebody in like their mid-20s or 30s. A human.
Yeah, definitely not their little brother.
Probably pretty safe to assume. It's somebody wearing leather armor who seems to have gotten killed prying in something they shouldn't be looking through. Kavi, you were originally looking through all of the bookshelves to like look at the books as well. Were there any specific topics that you think you would notice before other ones? Like, is there anything in particular you would be kind of looking for?
You're probably looking for like poetry books, specifically, like literature.
Um, the you would probably catch two different titles: "The Traveler's Rest" by Zesty and McGrath, as well as let's see, Wriggle's Airship Pilot by Colonel W.J. Carmichael. Those are the two that seem to be like nonfiction, that kind of catch your eye.
Does anything happen when she like picks them up?
Nope.
She pockets them.
It's a pretty amazing collection of books. It would probably be pretty interesting, but there's a couple, probably like close to 1,000 books here. Pretty nice collection overall. Definitely more than you can carry. Type of thing where if it weren't for the fact that this house is creepy, it might be worth sitting down and reading some of them.
What does Lee see at the top of the ladder?
It's one of those sliding ladders that basically like goes around the actual bookcase, so you can actually get to the top. I believe the ceilings in these rooms are probably about 12 feet tall, and the bookcases go all the way up top.
I'm just going to point out, within a few minutes she was trapped in the room, she named a skeleton Steve.
Anything else that you all are paying attention to or that would be drawing your eyes?
I'm curious. I'd like to walk over and check something quick. And I would go over to the window that like leads back out front and try to look out the window and see if the kids are still out there.
You're just
Is that a window right there, or is that a door?
That's a door there. Are you just gonna open the door?
Yeah, like ready to yell out if I see something.
So you see like a large like entertaining room. There's a few different musical instruments around. There's a couple more long curtains that cover like floor to ceiling windows. A few smaller like portraits of everyone in the family. Bunch of like the actual chairs, but otherwise it's a somewhat like austere but large room.
And still the same 4 people in the portraits?
Roll a perception or investigation. Yep, it seems to be predominantly these same 2 adults. There are a few that are like each individual child of Rose and Thorn, but they all seem, I don't know if I gave you their names before, but they all seem to be the same 4 people. There's no 5th in this, like, that you've seen.
All right, I'm gonna stick with the plan and go to the window and try to look out.
Yeah, so there's basically like, yeah, the 2 stone areas have the windows, and you can kind of brush it to the side, and as you look down outside, you see the 2 children are like making eye contact with you, staring at you as you open the window.
Can I like open the window to where I could like shout out to them?
Roll a strength check. The window seems to be sealed. It doesn't appear to have any reason why it's sealed, but it just doesn't seem to open for you.
Can one of you come give me a hand with this window? I want to try and get some information from the children about this Walter character. I can't seem to get it undone.
I'm coming.
So you two can both roll a strength check. The whole time the children are just standing still right at the front doorstep, staring. Start to open up the window, and you hear a loud crash from upstairs. Sounds like... roll perception checks for me.
All of us?
Yep, all of you. Loud crash, seems metallic. But otherwise, yeah, the window seems to open for you.
And when you say upstairs, there's one more level above us at least?
Yep, you all, when you came up the actual stairs, it basically leveled out at the level of the guest room here. So you, like, kind of walk off of the stair and would have, like, gone north, basically, onto this landing. Or I guess, really, you almost, like, walk like that.
Before we further investigate the sound and go upstairs, I just want to yell out to the children. Kids, how will we know Walter if we find him? No signs so far.
Please save our brother. Please save Walter.
What does he look like? Is he old or young? Any distinguishing marks?
He's our younger brother. He can't help himself. Please save Walter.
Okay, we will. And then I will turn around to the party. Well, I guess walk away from the window a little bit. And I wonder if it has something to do with the note. Perhaps their brother was the unborn child that's mentioned or something. I don't know. This seems rather peculiar.
Within moments of stepping away from the window, you hear it slam shut.
Shall we go further upstairs and see what's going on?
Yes.
I think we kind of have to.
Oh, here we are. I guess we will proceed back to the stairs and go up.
So I have to hide everything again.
Does this house have an attic?
Roll an intelligence check. This is essentially what you all see as you... This is essentially your view as you all walk from the bottom floor to the top. You remember that it seemed to have 4 stories. And this will be the 3rd that you've gone to. Oh wait, you've got keen memory anyways. You definitely would remember that it had 4 stories. So as you finish rounding the top of the marble staircase, it comes to a landing. There's a small, like a 3-foot banister that covers the top and this marble section. There is a armor that seems to be standing against the far northern wall from where you're kind of come from the stair, and you're almost staring directly at it.
Careful, that's twice now we've heard sounds coming from above us and no sign of anything yet. Be on your ready.
Remember, this house should have 4 floors.
Should have looked better at these maps before I stole them. There is a door right here.
And on the right, it looks like it opens, okay, into a hallway.
Yep, the right opens into a larger, like, double door.
And as I'm looking up at this statue, does it look like it matches the previous statues? Is it carrying a weapon or anything? Does it have a shielded face?
It's holding a longsword, and it has a very similar woven, damn, I can't think of what it's called, but the cover to its helmet. The face shielding is woven.
Can I use my staff to try to like push up like the visor part and make sure there's no thing or anything inside?
You can roll initiative. So as Sarkis starts to push his staff towards this thing, it actually draws its sword up into its hands as it blasts his staff to the side. Roll a perception for me, though, Sarkis. And did Flea roll? Flea, can you roll initiative as well? Select your character. Yeah, you did not get a view whether it's like occupied or whether it's empty.
Yeah, can't see much from 3 feet off the ground.
Sweet, sweet gnomes. Or wait, halfling? Halfling?
Yeah, halfling.
I hate that they're two different things. So it's going to start with Sarkis as it basically hits your staff away with its sword.
All right, I will attempt to smack it with my walking stick, double-handed.
13 like bounces off of its armor.
And then I will attempt to like kick its knee out and like try to knock it away from me. The unarmed strike bonus action.
You like kind of kick into the backside of the knee, and it doesn't actually like crumble to the ground, but it does seem to like open it up for a moment.
And then I would just yell out to the party, something living or animated here.
It is going to swing at you with its sword. My bad. I'm like looking at the actual statue on there, and I forgot that I actually want to place the actual. Almost as if it's an actual thing. So it's going to step forward, and the first attack that it's going to make is going to be against Sarkis, and its second one is going to be against Flea as it steps forward. Let's see. A 17 to hit Sarkis for 6 damage. And then 19, 19 to hit Flea for 4 damage.
Just to double check, we never got healed up after we got to Barovia other than what we did ourselves, right?
What was the healing that you did yourselves?
Like right when we met Strahd, we were at like 1 hit point around there, and we like healed ourselves.
If you guys don't have a good, I feel like that's where everybody would be coming off of the low hit points, but just go from as if you're coming off a long rest right now.
Okay, so I mean it's fine
Full
either
healing.
way. Okay, so I'm still up if I had full hit points when he hit me.
And did that hit you, Flea?
Yeah, you gave me 4 points of damage.
Gotcha. And then it will go to Kavi.
Well, for one, she's going to cast Blade Ward on herself.
I believe that's your action.
Yes.
And it will go to flee.
Okay, I'm going to go through that door.
Which door? To the west.
Correct.
Nothing bad can possibly happen from this. So you pop open the door and you run inside?
Yeah, I'll go a couple of feet into the room. I won't go into the main room, but to the end of that hallway. Alcove, I guess you'll call it.
And it will go back to Sarkis.
So did he move physically away from that thing?
Oh yeah, he was next to it. Good point. It's gonna swing on you. 10's gonna miss.
Where are you going? We need you. And then I'll attack it again with the quarterstaff.
I'm pulling my bow.
You're fucked.
Yeah, I kind of see that now.
Will a 15 hit?
15 misses.
And then unarmed strike. Again, I'm going to try to kick it in the knee. Maybe this will bring you down to size.
Oh, my bad. I didn't realize that those were two different rolls. The 22 does hit, so you're able to kick again into its lower extremities, and it seems to deflect, having taken some damage.
And then I'm going to take a couple of steps back towards the stairs and say, we need to regroup. We're outmatched.
I'll start heading to the stairs as well if I am lucky enough.
It's not your turn yet. Hold up.
Fair enough.
It is going to follow you, Sarkis, as it's going to swing past Kavi and then swing at Sarkis. Let's see, 13 to hit Sarkis for 6. And,
thank God I missed.
and 11 to hit Kavi for 6. Both of those miss.
What was it to hit?
11. I've got your AC
Yeah,
as 13.
Yes.
And then it's going to go to you, Kavi. What does the actual Blade Ward do? Like when it swings at you, does it... Okay, it just gives you resistance. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Oh god. That's horrible.
No, it's great.
Yeah, but it removes you from the action economy. That is not good.
Okay, as someone who has couldn't get any decent attack cantrips, it's pretty damn deep.
You gotta... Do you have, I don't want to tell you how to play your character. Do your thing. Action economy is huge, though. If it uses your turn, that is a big thing to throw away. Is your turn.
Yeah, the only thing she could do at the moment is like try and stab it with her rapier.
You can make a rapier attack. 21 does indeed hit. You like poke through a hole in the armor. Nothing really seems to happen, but it's feels like you're doing something.
Did she actually hit anything when poking through the armor, or did it feel like hollow?
You hear like the sound of like the metal of your blade scratching against the armor, but there's no feel of entering anything inside of the armor, and there's no other sound, there's no like vocalization.
She calls out, "It's a ghost!"
Behind you as you run into that room, Flea, there's a cold feeling that just wells up, and you hear a voice yell out, "You don't belong here!" Does a 14 hit you?
Armor class 14.
I need you to make a Constitution saving throw, and you are going to take 13 necrotic damage.
I'm down.
While on a positive note, a 12 means that your max hit points is not reduced by 13. Sarkis.
Now, at this point, would I be able to move away, or pretty much too?
You're actually down, and you're gonna have a death saving throw on that turn. But no, you're down. You're unconscious right now. Running into a new room in this house is a crazy thing when you enter a combat.
Just to double check, when you said that our hit points would be as if we had done a long rest, just our hit points, or would we have back like our ability too?
You guys can treat it as you took a long rest before when you were unconscious. You're not getting out of it without using all of your abilities right now.
We're not getting out of it with using all of our.
Yeah, I mean, a specter is one of the most deadly things that this house throws at you, and that included with an animated armor is going to be a lot.
All right, I'm going to try to smack this armor again one more time.
You two also would have heard that female voice that yelled at Flea as well. 12 misses.
And I'll do an unarmed strike as well.
That would be one that, like, you hit the metal still, but it doesn't seem to actually rebound or anything. And it's going to do the same of one attack at each of you. It's going to hit Kavi for 8 damage with a 22 to hit, and a 10's going to miss Sarkis.
You said 8 damage?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm down.
Wait, but do you cut that in half with your ability?
No,
It only
it's
lasts
just
one
for
round.
the turn. Yeah, that's why it's so crazy. You literally have to
Oh, that's
constantly
terrible.
cast it.
That's crazy. It takes your action and it only lasts one turn?
Yep, it's right there with True Strike, and it seems good, but it's rough. But yeah, so it'll go to Key, and then it will go to the Spectre. Seems to do nothing, and a roll to flee. So Key seems to breathe, or Kavi seems to breathe. You hear coughing from inside of the other room, and it will go back to you, Sark.
All right, so as the animated suit of armor like strikes down at me, I'm gonna run in between its legs. And then I will reach up and touch my neck tattoo once again and say, "The price of life is never too much to pay." And I will cast my healing on Kavi. Am I able to use? No, that's it. I think 1 + 2. So yeah, 3 life you gain back from my cure wounds. And I will just say, I can't do this without you.
So that's your action there.
Yeah, and I can't unarmed strike unless I attack, I don't believe.
Yeah, that sounds right. I'm pretty sure it's in response to using the attack action. Yeah, I think it's gonna do. I think one attack at each of you again still. You heal her for 3. It's gonna hit her for 3. Does a 14 hit you, Sarkis?
No, it misses.
Alright, so it misses you for 7, and it's gonna hit her with a 23 for 3 damage. So I need you to mark Kavi with 1 level of exhaustion, and she's gonna cough up blood. Sarkis is going to take not like a deep gasping breath, but you'll hear like a gasp for breath, for air. Or flee rather, and it'll go back to you, Sarkis.
All right, so I know there is an actual like shove attack to try to like knock someone or something down.
Yeah, I believe it's from the grapples that you can do a shove. I think it's a contested strength.
As a monk, can I use my dexterity for that, or is that only when I'm using my attack with a quarterstaff or unarmed strike?
I think that's only with a finesse weapon that you can do the dexterity check.
Okay, and then one more question. Do I get the impression at all as to the condition of this armor? Like, does it look like a scratch and dent tin can, or is it like still popping off?
You're probably noticing like the first signs of dents and damage to it, but it's still like holding up.
Okay, I would like to get creative here and essentially try to like jab my staff in the ground, like in a little nook or whatever, in between the wall and like the floor, and try and like gain some leverage off of the wall and like try to knock this thing down the stairs.
Do you want to use your inspiration for doing the recap to basically roll 2d20 on this?
Yeah, I was hoping. Yeah, that I will definitely do that for sure. I was hoping to do like an acrobatics type move so I could gain some kind of bonus to it because I have no plus to strength. But I mean, again, I guess it would just be like a shove attack or an improvised attack, whatever you would.
Um, you can add your proficiency bonus, but that's about all.
No, that's acceptable. Okay, so if I do this, I could get a +2 to this check with the advantage roll.
Yeah, it's not quite the same as advantage using inspiration, but it essentially is.
Okay, yeah, that's what I'm going to try to do then.
Well, that bodes well for you. I rolled a 4, so I've got a 6. And that'll do. Kind of push it over the edge. It seems to stumble backward, and as it goes to brace itself, its foot like slips off of the back of the red marble staircase, and it starts to tumble down the central alcove of the stairs.
Okay, and I would like to yell out, "Catch me outside, how about that?" And I think that's all I can do. I think that uses up my action. And again, I think only if I use. I think I can only use unarmed strike and quarterstaff as my bonus action. So
What's the actual wording when it describes that?
it says when you use an attack action with an unarmed strike or monk weapon, you can make one unarmed strike as a bonus action.
Gotcha, yeah. Because essentially, the grapple action is still a kind of attack action, but the way that's worded is, yeah, it's definitely after like following those attacks, essentially.
Okay, but the most important thing was to get it away from us because I want to now drag Javi further away as well.
So yeah, your movement is. Yeah, I don't think you can really drag her this turn, though.
Okay, I got you. I was trying to create some kind of distance, but I
Yeah.
really don't have a lot of options here. Yeah, you're fine.
I feel like planting the staff is kind of a free action of what would be used to grab her.
Okay, I'm gonna try to create some distance, I guess, over here then.
This thing just like calmly starts to walk up the stairs. Its like dead spaced eyes just seem to be staring directly at you. And let's see, Abby. She seems to take a breath, and I don't know why I have Sarkis written down for these, but flee. Oh, so close. Takes a big gulp of air. And it will go back to you, Sarkis.
All right, so I saw Kavi spit up blood once. Did I see Flea spit up blood also?
You would have probably heard him choking.
God, I'm afraid if I go in there, I'll provoke that thing. All right, I'm gonna run over and I'll move 10 here, and then I want to try to stabilize her, I guess.
Do you have a medicine kit? Or are you just doing a
I do
medicine
not.
check?
Yeah, just medicine check.
Alright, word. Roll a medicine. I think you're at +2. You are able to stabilize her.
And then once again, I'm just going to move a little further away. And again, that would take up my action. I wouldn't be able to drag her or anything, right?
Correct. That's your action, but you can use your free action to grab her and pull her away. It would be half movement. I think you moved, what, 5 or 10 to get there?
Yeah, so can I just drag her back like 2 spaces then?
How far did you move to get to her? Was it 10? I think you would be limited. Yeah, you would be limited to moving her 1 space, basically.
Okay, yeah, I'll just pull her away like 1 space in this direction.
So it's just going to move up to you and swing, I think, both at you. And I have a feeling
Yeah, makes sense.
an 11's gonna miss and a 20 for 7.
Oh yeah, that's going to down me for sure.
So with that, let's see. Flea, I've got you at 2 and 2. Can you roll a death save? And then Sarkis, can you roll death saves? Just 1 at a time, but at least 3. And Kavi, I need you to roll a d4.
Now, death saves against Constitution, right?
It is just a d20. It has no bonuses in the least bit. So you're 2 and 1 right there. Sarkis, roll another one.
Okay, keep going.
2 and 2. Sarkis will die. Lee, did you roll one death save? You were at 2 and 2 from my counts.
Yeah, I rolled a 7.
Lee dies as well. I really thought I wasn't going to have to bust this out until later.
Was there any way we were going to survive this?
Running into that room was the worst possible thing. The animated armor is a CR1. The Spectre is a CR1, but that Spectre, if you fail that Constitution saving throw, it's like a very auto-death kind of creature. It deals 3d6 damage, and if you fail the con save, it reduces your max hit points. So that's part of why this house isn't called Durst Manor. This house is called Death House, because it kills you.
But for future reference, 100% of the time, if you're in the middle of a combat, don't go in unexplored areas ever. That's like the worst thing you could do.
Yeah, going backwards would have been much better than running through a doorway.
Got it.
I am looking for a specific document, so let's take a little break while I'm looking for this. And I should have answers in a few moments of how this, I think it's the Dark Gifts.
Yeah, I felt like knocking it down the stairs was like my best bet to try to like make it have to stand back up and then also like push it away from me without getting an opportunity attack. But I knew I was screwed when I rolled that 3 to like heal you.
Well, it's rough too because something like that, like I did 7 more damage to it, but something like that, you have to get to its kind of normal hit points, and that's a really tough creature because it literally is armor, so it's high ass AC. And it's one of those things where, like, all of those little actions, they work out really well, but the little bits of damage were getting close. I basically had it missing, was that 15, 30? So it's close to essentially dying when that basically turned. But that's just one of those things, like, that thing would have been a hard fight with all three of you. Let alone, I mean, it would have been a hard fight for 4 or 6 of you.
Well, when I feel like when you said that Kavi coughed up blood, that there was like definitely potential that she would die if I didn't stabilize her. So I kind of like foregoed a whole extra round of attacks to try to make sure she didn't die.
Yeah, for the future, I don't want people to know like what the death saves were, but essentially, I think Kavi was at 1-1 when you rolled for her, and Flea was at 2-2.
Yeah, Flea, I would have went for you first, honestly, just because you got knocked down first, like assuming that you were in worse shape. But I figured if I went in that room, I was going to provoke the Spectre, and that was like not going to work.
Yeah, there's no cure for stupid.
More or less with that Spectre, the only option for Flea was to basically let him go where the dice went and drag his body out without going in there. That was probably about the only chance. She's one of those, you can pick up storyline aspects, but going in there in the midst of a battle, nothing good's gonna come from it.
So was that D4 I rolled? Was that my like HP coming back?
Well, you will wake up in an hour, basically in this hallway, with their corpses next to you. But that was basically to see how long it takes for you to wake up, and you'll wake up with 1 hit point, regardless of what you rolled on that.
Sarkis for sure would have like draped his body over top of yours so that the armor didn't keep attacking you like as he fell.
Alrighty. I think I essentially have it. So let me have each of Flea and Sarkis roll a, what is it? I think a d20.
My rolls don't seem to be translating over.
Click the red die in the virtual tabletop.
Yeah, 14, but not showing up.
You've got Beyond 20 set up though now, right? All right, I need each of you to roll a d20 again.
I'm restarting D&D Beyond and roll 20.
All right, Sarkis. So, you find yourself like floating in space in just utter blackness, semi-conscious. As you look around, you see all of this just expanse of space and nothingness, and you can feel this complete lack of presence as your body is just cooled to just a horrific level. You try to shiver, but there's nothing for your body to do. And then you notice a dark blue light almost flash before your eyes. And you see this presence, and it offers you life at a cost, naming itself Karad, if you will dedicate your being to the Dark One.
Can I talk to this thing, or is it just like a life or death choice?
What would you say to it?
At what cost do you offer this to me? What is the price of life? And he'll reach up and touch his tattoo.
You hear within you the cost of secrets is yet unpaid.
Without life, a shepherd cannot protect the flock. I will pay the dues. And I'll agree to its deal.
I don't know what random shit I chose for this thing. I thought it would be more entertaining what this apparently seems to be right off the bat. But in the moment of you agreeing, you feel as your nose seems to clog up, and you have just a sensation to wipe away what feels like a runny nose. And you now have disadvantage on all intelligence investigation checks, and advantage on saving throws versus inhaled poisons. You permanently have a stuffed up nose.
Wait, so say it again. Disadvantage on all.
Investigation checks.
And advantage against poison.
Inhaled poisons.
And what was the name of this entity?
Karad. Khirad. Not that you would have an actual spelling.
All right, so disadvantage on all investigation checks and advantage against inhaled poison.
Yep, which again as well, like as far as like the role playing of the character goes, you permanently have a stuffed up nose. Did you roll a d20, Flea?
Oh, sorry. Been trying to restart. Rolled a 15.
Let's see. You find yourself lost in the mist. A very similar feeling as before, where all of your vision and all of your sensations are just clouded by this feeling of being in absence. Your feet sit firmly on the ground, and you look all around, and there seems to be many creatures with their backs facing you. Thick fur, a wet, oily musk in the air, and you hear a voice. Would you give yourself to the dark powers for truth, mistruth, and horrors beyond reason?
What choice have I?
Perpetual death.
Then I must accept.
Yog's blessing be upon you. Alrighty, so you are going to be covered head to toe in a thick black oily fur, and once per long rest you can benefit from the augury spell.
Does my face still appear normal?
Does your what?
So my entire body, including face, is covered with a heavy black fur?
All of your body, like uncomfortably so. Your eyelids are furred, your face is furred, your palms are furred. These are curses. They're not meant to be good.
Oh, I got that point.
So, about an hour into this, Kavi, you are going to wake up and you are going to see the two of them laying near you. A pool of snot next to Sarkis, and some creature that seems to be wearing relatively similar armor as Flea was once wearing, but just a puff of black oily fur.
Can anyone else see the irony that your token is a black furry cat?
Gotta go for the dice never lie there. Like, those are
Yeah,
two
that's
random
hilarious.
fucking tables to get those two results.
I like it. So basically, I'm like a black furry Wookiee.
Yeah, that's probably about as close to Wookiee as you can get, but I would say Wookiees are a little bit too positive of a mindset.
Now, is there any effect on the mental side of me, or the, I'm chaotic neutral, but,
Besides that you serve a dark god called Yog, I'm sure nothing could possibly come from that that's bad.
got it.
Each of your characters has basically given me reasons to fuck with you in character with two different dark gods of this land. Which, fun fact, Karad was one of the dark gods who was fucking with my cleric in this land. So good roll. But yeah, you all are waking up. The house otherwise seems to have almost set itself back in order. The armor is standing up against the wall. Seems to just be staring forward. The door to the room to the west seems to be closed.
All right, so Kavi woke up first then.
You'd probably wake up a little bit before them. But I would say there's a different level of, like, realistically, the two of them are gonna wake up screaming in horror from just a general terrible experience. whereas you almost have just like unsettling dreams that you're waking up from.
Yeah, that's nothing new for her.
Yeah, you picked a pretty good character to take into Barovia for having the status quo essentially be the status quo still.
Unintentionally, that just happened.
Yeah, it was pretty much going to get the same torture, even if we had like a happy-go-lucky campaign, as putting you inside of Barovia.
As we come to, does that statue appear to be like dented and dinged up, or is it like look perfect, like we never fought it?
Roll a perception check. I would say you notice a few different places where you put in a good hit and it doesn't seem to be damaged.
And second question, how many hit points do we come to it? Just one?
Yeah, there's no good ways about this. This place is deadly as fuck. Everybody go to full hit points. You guys walking out here with like 17 fucking evil gods that you serve. So thoughts all? You're in a large marble room. There's a door to the north of you, a door to the west. See the statue of the animated armor in front of you to the north, as well as a large double door to the northeast.
I tried to save you all, but I'm far too weak. Far too weak. And I'll like pull open like my armor a little bit to wherever I got like killed by that thing, or stabbed or whatever, and see is there like a scar left behind?
There's like a almost like shining blue scar tissue that's clearly not flesh, but it's healed in a way of like, assuming you have other scars on your body from just living life, like it's healed in the way of a scar, but it resembles a blue star.
I guess that kind of matches my tattoo then. Some spirit reached out to me. I paid an awful price to return to this world, but I'm here nonetheless. I'm glad to see you two are alive as well.
I had to pay a high price as well, but at least I'm better looking now.
You're almost unrecognizable.
Yes.
Kavi, are you okay?
So I'm not dreaming.
Unfortunately not.
Starting to feel more like a nightmare. Shall we continue on and attempt to avoid this fate again? I'm not sure how far we'll make it in these lands.
My word that I will not lead the group again.
And as Sarkis sort of like uses his staff to get back to his feet, he'll start walking towards like that hallway over there, and you'll hear him just saying, "Far too weak, far too weak."
Over where?
Over away from the stuff that beat us up last time, hopefully.
Did you walk past the armor?
Like within 5 feet of it, or what's like the?
That's pretty much the question. Did you give it a
this is what
wide
I
berth?
That's what I went. I was right here, and I went right here, right here, right here. So you tell me if I walk past it.
What's everyone else doing?
Abby's keeping her eye on the armor as she just like creeps up to the wall and just like moves alongside it.
I'm following in the same footsteps.
So as you all walk basically to the east and then to the north, there doesn't seem to be any movement from the armor. Let me have everybody do an insight check. Oh yeah, that'll do. You have a pretty solid understanding that as long as you don't walk right next to and or attack or touch the armor, it's not going to do anything.
And is there a door over in this area? Is that 2 doors right there, or is that just like a wooden wall?
It's a double door to your east right now. Are you ready to open it?
Yeah, I guess so.
So you see a large master bedroom. There's a few windows in this one with those kind of classic long red curtains that reach down to the ground. There's a little alcove to the east of the bed beyond the headboard, as well as... Dude, this map's so bad at the doors. It's got a door that leads out onto a patio beyond the actual room. You see another writing desk, another couple of chairs, a small circular desk with a candle burnt to the like brass holder, as well as a couple more bookcases and another fireplace with a tiger rug in front of it.
Shall we go in?
Yes, this place is eerie enough in the dark, and I'll reach into my bag and light another torch. At least we can see what's going to kill us. I guess like depending how big the desk is or how tall it is, maybe I'll have to stand on the chair, but I'll like get up there and just kind of use the torchlight and try to see what's on it.
um, you can do a perception to see what's on it, or if you're looking for things basically in and on it, you can do an investigation at disadvantage.
Should I close the door behind us?
It seems to be a... oh, damn, what's the fucking word for these things? A vanity desk, and you find a ring. It seems to be a pretty nice quality ring. It's just like a very simple golden ring, but it seems pretty nice.
There's a ring here. Any like identifying markings or text or anything on it?
Let's see. Damn, I don't have her maiden name prepared, but let's say it's engraved from Gustav to my love Elizabeth. Um let's call her Kreskov.
All right. Well, I guess I would take the ring, but maybe not put it on or anything. Just sort of pocket it for now. Perhaps a clue that will lead us in the right direction. May not be the best idea to take from this place, but it's already taken so much from us. What have we left to lose?
And there's like bookshelves on the south of the room.
They seem to be wardrobes.
Okay. Uh, yeah, she'll go through them. See if there's like any other type of documents.
Roll an investigation. Inside you find a few like nice embroidered like robes, almost like bathrobes kind of thing, as well as a veil that seems to be of a very fine like silken like well, silk is the fucking fabric. I don't know what I'm looking for there. Like a silk veil, and you find a really nice golden necklace with a topaz, a yellow gem set into the necklace.
She just leaves everything where she found it.
Now, when I ask who hurt you, I know the answer already. What is Flea doing as he looks around the bed?
Flea is inspecting the bed, see if there's anything on the headboard or anything out of the ordinary.
What would you say is out of the ordinary? Like, what are you expecting?
Is there anything other than a regular, cleanly made bed?
Roll an investigation. The bed, perhaps at one point was made, but it's rotted and it's almost like it's infested with like not necessarily a specific insect, but like there's signs of like carpenter ants having pretty much decimated this thing. Yeah, I think that's probably the overall idea. Like, it's a severe sign of age.
I'll just back away.
Are you checking out that table down there, Kavi? Do you have any thoughts in mind what you're doing?
Yeah, she's trying to like find anything like in terms of regarding the family itself, other than just like the two children I want to find. They're like maybe he exists, lost brother.
So looking around that little spot, you see like a couple of chairs, and there's like a little like carafe of water and a couple of glasses like upturned. But it seems pretty clear that that's almost just like I can't sleep, let me grab a glass of water. There's not really anything going on in that spot there.
I'm gonna open these closet doors. Prepare yourselves.
The entire house collapses. It's just a closet inside of there. You see a few black robes. They're not like the finest material, but they seem to be like a collection of like 6 of these robes in 2 different sizes, all of them black.
Rather strange attire. Not sure how much more there is on this floor. Perhaps we should check upstairs.
I don't think we've seen a way upstairs yet.
Oh wait, did the spiral stairs stop? They didn't keep going up?
Yeah, the stairs end on this level at the landing in front of the animated armor.
Is there a door in front of me?
That's another one of the windows. There's like 3 windows in this room with the curtains that are like ceiling to floor. And I feel like, again, there's like that landing that I revealed, because I think there should be a door right down there. This map's been very interesting. It's like so much better than the actual map from the book, but it lacks a few of the doors that are not just on the map at all.
As I look back out into the room we came in from, or the hallway we came in from, there's one door on like the northwest, and then the door that he went through when he got killed. Are they both closed right now?
Yeah. It's back closed again in that area.
Perhaps we could tiptoe around the armor and try that last door. I don't know how much further we can get if we can't find a way from there.
That's a quick question. Is this just like a dead end right here at like the end of the hallway to the north?
Yep, just stone walls. Yeah, like I said, now that you all basically know to avoid the animated armor, you don't have to fight it. Unless you specifically wanted to animate it.
Would Grumbling and Infernal like animate it by chance? Because that's what she does every time she walks past it.
You seem to grumble at it, and it doesn't seem to do anything. I feel like this is... You're about to open that door to the north?
Yeah, the one to the north I will open.
Open it up, and there's storage. There's a couple of shelves, different things kind of folded up on it. Doesn't really seem to be much of anything. Some folded sheets, folded blankets, some bars of soap, and a broom that seems to be covered in cobwebs.
No, like chains hanging down from the ceiling that would imply like a way upstairs or anything like that.
There doesn't appear to be now. So, another random missing door. I'm gonna throw a door right in there, and it leads into a bathroom if you go and investigate it.
Perhaps we could try going out on the whatever it's called, the patio, and see if there appears to be a way up. I have some rope. Maybe we could get up to the last level. I really don't know. I'd rather avoid that room if possible.
I don't want to go back in there for sure.
So if we tiptoe back around and go check like the outside patio, maybe. When we look up, what do we see? Is there, what's it look like?
So like right under the exit, there's a little bit of like a ceiling above you, but there's very clearly another floor up above you.
Can we see? Is there like a window or another patio or anything up there, like directly above us?
Do a perception check. So let's see. Basically, like the overhang is kind of like that above you. Whoops,
Is there
I have to
any
push it up.
chance
One
we
second.
could?
And then there's a window behind the actual overhand that seems to be like overlooking that like veranda. And then my bad, what were you saying, Al?
Would I be able to throw a rope that's weighted or something up there, or climb?
It would be a pretty difficult throw. Do you have a grappling hook?
No.
It would be a pretty One second, I'll get right back to you, Sarkis. It would be a pretty difficult throw to get it like up and over anything, but essentially there's a chimney in kind of the midpoint of the house that would almost be what, like 30 feet to your west and almost like 20 feet above you all there, maybe 25 feet to the peak of the chimney. And then the actual roof has like, again, it's like Victorian, so the roof has, oh wait, I actually shared that picture for you guys. Let me reshare this picture so you can actually see again, because this is again one of those things that you would still have a memory of. Oh, you still have access to it. The Durst family manor, those like spikes on top of it, and then the chimney on that east side. Do you all see that one from the handouts? It's like the second one I think I shared with you.
Yeah, it's showing up.
Oh, is the party loot list even shared for you all yet? My bad that I had to pop that up. I don't think I had it shared for you, and I added those things to it. So you could certainly try to throw it onto one of those things. It's just going to be a very difficult throw.
And I know you said it's like high ceilings. How high are we talking here? Like to the next level, basically.
Like the level that you're on has about 12-foot ceilings. So you're probably looking at like, man, I don't know enough about construction to really know, but like 15 feet to the base of the next level.
Flea, I think you're on the right track. I have an idea, and I would reach into my bag and pull out my hammer and my pitons. Perhaps we could hammer a few of these into the stone and then put a rope through it, and I could climb up, or one of you could climb up and then pull the rest of us up after.
Sounds like a plan.
Sounds like we don't have much else to do.
So you're going to try to basically use your climbing gear to hammer pythons in and then climb your way up?
Yeah, that's, I think, the best idea. I would obviously have to use, quite a few of them, but I think it's worth it to try to get to that 4th floor.
So let me have you roll a strength check. And an acrobatics. Do both of those at the same time. So you start to like hammer this python into the outside of the home. I don't think it should be stone walls there. I don't think Victorian houses had stone outside walls. But you like see like the cracks in the home almost like open up as the pythons go in like butter. And you're able to climb up and leap your way on top of that little awning. And when you go to open the window, you almost like throw it through the roof. Having like struggled with the other window, this one seems to open at your behest.
All right, so I would secure the rope and then everything appears to be secure now. Climb on up after. Be careful now. How many of the pythons do you want me to mark off as used up?
You're 3 feet tall.
Don't rub it in.
2'5".
Affirmative.
Well, I'm just trying to think like essentially
Well, I'm
your
just
height divided by the height that you have to go up kind of thing.
Yeah, that's
I
totally
think
cool.
that's one of the joys of working with a halfling.
No, it's extra funny, honestly. I like that I'm like crippled by my size.
Alrighty.
And then I'm gonna leave the rope in place, secured, in case we need to make a exit.
Sounds good. So as you all like climb up, oh wait, let me reset all of the drawings too. 1 second. It's like the biggest problem with having shift is my push to talk, is how much it does to me doing other stuff. So as you climb up, you see a door to the west of you that seems to be opened, and you see the signs of a stairway that kind of leads down. And then you actually see that it turns up to the north. There's more doors missing. Holy fuck. There's a door directly north to the east of you that has a padlock on it. A door to the north, the like most northerly and east of you, and then a door that's directly to the west of that. And then I have to draw in the door that's basically like slightly west and north of you. Or slightly north and west of you. But those are essentially what you see. You see those 4 doors, and then the 5th door is essentially already open, like into that hallway.
So basically, it looks like the steps going down probably go to somewhere in the back of that bedroom or something where the specter was.
Yeah, it's looks or would appear to be in that general area. Let's see. You actually let me have everybody roll a perception. Crushing it. Uh, Sarkis, you see a little string that's kind of like draped through the hallway, and it leads into that northwestern room.
And the one across from it has the padlock?
So, essentially, with my beautiful Bob Ross drawings, that's like the string leads into that like northwestern room, and then the padlock is like directly north of you to the east.
Perhaps this string is an indication of where we need to go. I wonder what this padlock is hiding.
I can look at it if you wish.
Are you any good at picking locks, or perhaps you could use this hammer to break it?
I will pick it.
Are you gonna try to pick the lock?
Unless it'll fall open. What do I have to roll?
You have a thieves toolkit. Do you have proficiency in thieves tools?
That was two of the items that I did opt for, yes.
So it's just a dexterity, and then you can add your proficiency bonus. You actually like try to unlock it, and you're gonna break your thieves tools.
As Flea is fiddling with the lock, you will kind of like hear Sarkis talking to himself and say, like under his breath, but loud enough for you to hear it, as he kind of like gets real close to Flea. And maybe this is why he breaks his thieves tools. But I'll just be sort of like examining his hair, and out loud I'll say, Flea, just a name or a carrier? Sort of like looking to see if he has fleas.
They're some of my best friends.
Oh my god, that's so fucking funny. I did not actually think about that. Those were all random rolls. Like there was nothing that those are tables that I had pre-prepared, well, like relatively pre-prepared. All of that was like at some point somebody's gonna die, and we're gonna roll this as a way to keep a character alive. That's fucking amazing. And the black cat thing too. I assume that's just like your cat, because you said the other day like it's just gonna be a placeholder at first.
Yeah, I'm sticking with it now.
Yeah, it's definitely you.
And yeah, it's my cat.
Yeah, I just had to check if he actually had fleas, though. So,
Flea, roll a intelligence check for me. And as well, you can delete your thieves' tools. You no longer have them. But you did find a key.
Let's roll with it.
so I guess like not knowing you found the key, or maybe you told us already, but Sarkis would say, "Shall we try the path of least resistance?" Or, and I'll hold up the hammer.
I have found a key. I would have told him anyway.
So when you remember the key that you found in the desk, and you slide it into the padlock, seems to fit. When you start to apply a little bit of pressure, You
Be
hear
ready, everyone.
you hear a click, and the padlock falls
Stop
open.
it. Okay. I'll remove the padlock from the hasp and tell everybody I'm about to open the door.
Perhaps you should save the padlock just in case.
Done.
And I will just ready my staff as he opens the door. If anything is like hostile when we open it.
Does it swing in or out?
What's more secure? I feel like it swings in.
Okay, here we go.
So are you just like slamming the door open? Are you slowly opening it?
Thief-like, very slowly.
So
I've already been stupid tonight.
you very slowly open the door as you're peeking in. It's not much longer than a moment before you see a small dollhouse sitting on a little table. A small bed about the size of a little child. A bed. Well, actually, I guess you would see a little child standing there, staring at you, almost like misty gray. And then his older sister, another slightly larger bed, and then a small chest. And in the center of the floor, two skeletons. One of them is holding a little rag doll that seems to have its eyes stitched in on this white fabric. Seems to be very dirty. A stitched in smile.
Oh dear, you poor, poor children.
Hello. Have you come to help us?
Yes, do you not remember?
We've already died. You're too late. I think
Where
Father
is
forgot to
Walter?
feed us.
Why were you locked in this place?
Mother and Father were trying to protect us from the beast. I don't think you can help Walter. Mother said Walter was a stillborn.
Oh dear, just like we suspected.
I think Father forgot us.
Your parents loved you very much. What can we do to help you, to lay you to rest?
Our crypt is in the basement.
Basement, you say? Where's the basement?
And the little boy just kind of points towards the dollhouse.
Does the dollhouse appear to be like a smaller version of this house?
It does indeed.
Show us the way.
But he basically just like points like that.
And I would look back at the party and say, perhaps if we take their remains and lay them to rest in the basement, they can find peace from this place.
You're nearly there, but don't leave us.
Can you come from this room with us? We need to take your bones, your bodies.
We can go with them or in you.
I guess I will look back at the party and perhaps we could use the sheets and gather them and take their remains with us.
Kavi, Lee, any thoughts?
Well, they said they could go with us or in us, correct?
They said we can go with our bones or in you.
Would they be able to make the bones walk, I suspect?
Roll an insight or an arcana. Yeah, I think those two. They are essentially stuck here and can probably possess your body.
I'm going to tell my compatriots that we probably should not go in that room, lest we be possessed.
I think if we gather their bones and bring them, that would be an alternative. They don't appear to be hostile. Maybe we can help them.
If you wish to go in and bundle the bones, so be it.
I will. My goal is to protect, and part of protecting these children would be to free them from this torturous place. Does it appear that the sheets are like still functionally useful to like bag up their bones separately?
Um, yeah, if you go in the room, roll a perception check for me. You're able to find a few different pieces of the bedding that seems to be sturdy enough that you can fold it in on themselves and kind of collect the children and essentially have them in a small folder.
All right, I will go that route then. Gather up their bones and package them separately in some sheets and then put them in my traveler's pack.
You'll take us to our crypts.
Yes, children, we will take you to your crypts and lay you to rest. Before we go, though, what is this hall down here? Where does this string lead? And I'll kind of like point out to that room over there.
I can't see anything beyond this room.
You spoke of a beast. What beast is it that your parents were protecting you from?
It was always in the basement. We would hear it screaming. It was horrific.
Did you ever see the beast, or
Father said we weren't allowed in the basement.
did your father treat you well?
They seem almost perplexed. They don't really have like that memory left in them. After a moment, Thorn seems to look up at his sister. Rose, don't leave me. Don't go without me.
No, we'll take you together, children. And then I'll look up to the party and ask them, shall we investigate that room before we lay them to rest, or shall we go and explore the basement and attempt to free these children of this place? What do you guys think?
As far as the kids go, I'm neutral about that. I think while we're up here, though, we might as well look around.
All right, we'll have a look then. Follow us, children. We'll keep you safe.
Is everybody like Kavi? Are you standing at the door as Sarkis leaves?
Yeah, she's been hesitating on like whether to like ask for permission to enter or not. So she's just like rock at her heels in like perplexion on what to do.
If you're still kind of looking in that room, and perhaps flee as well, when Sarkis leaves the room, they almost like blow away with a wind.
Which way is the wind blowing?
To the north. Thoughts on the door? Are you opening it?
Well, it's either follow the string or walk into a trap. I suppose fate will decide. And yeah, I'll open the door with the string leading to it.
So you see a large room, a bunch of different pieces of like furniture and different shaped objects that all seem to be covered in white sheets, a very large wooden chest, and then the string about midway through the room seems to just stop.
And where's the
Everybody
chest
just
at?
left the game. The chest is center northern part of the room.
Oh, it says connection was interrupted because I'm only seeing myself in the game right now. But
Oh yeah, roll 20's going down right now apparently. So it's like, what is that? About 25 or 30 feet north to south, and probably about 50 or 60 feet east to west inside of this room. Everybody's popping back in now. And then, yeah, there's a bunch of different like pieces of furniture that are covered in white sheets and a large wooden chest along the northern wall.
I'm going to give the string a little tug.
Moves without any issue.
I will walk into the room and sort of have a look around and bring everyone's attention to the chest.
Don't touch it!
Who says that?
As you move for the chest, a little girl pops up from behind one of the pieces of furniture. You would let me have everybody roll an insight check. Or I guess like a straight intelligence. Yeah, I think that's good enough for Flea with the keen mind. You would pretty quickly recognize that that is Sophia Antios. Slightly older than the picture drawn of her. Just a flame red amber hair. And she kind of stands up with her hand out. Don't go near the chest. She's angry. They killed her son.
Who is she?
It's a specter that she haunts this place. I think she was the nursemaid.
Darling, we've been looking for you. We spoke to your mother, Belinda. She's worried.
Seems so long ago. How long have you been looking?
I will look to Flea because he has the best idea, probably.
We have not been looking long. Weeks, perhaps. How long have you been here?
I had a good supply of rations when I arrived. I've nearly gone through everything. I don't think it's all that simple as to know how long.
Come with us, darling. Come away from this place.
I'm going to do an Arcana check.
What are you looking for?
I'm going to look at the chest and her and see if they're more than we would expect.
What are you doing to the chest?
Definitely not touching it.
I'm trying to gather what you're looking for. I need more information from you. Like, it's not going to be Arcana to compare her to the chest.
I was wondering if, she is truly the little girl or if she is just some animation.
You can do an insight and an arcana. Seems to be pretty truthful. She doesn't appear to be any sort of magical. I just don't feel like you've got, even with a 21, I don't feel like you've got enough like of an arcana background to really recognize like what you might be looking for as an arcane. I don't know what magic Flea would know about to go into that.
Not much.
Yeah, she seems to just be a human child who's extremely perplexed by you all and quite adamant that the nursemaid is a hostile being. Somebody who's been tormented. I think I said, or she can say, that she knows that the nursemaid's child was murdered.
Looking at Sophia, does she appear to be alive, or is she like a specter, like the children type thing?
You can do an insight. Otherwise, you can do an investigation at disadvantage. She seems to be healthy. She doesn't seem to be either a ghost like the children you've seen in here, or acting peculiar like the children who are standing outside.
Come away from there, child. Come with us. We'll leave this place, and I will offer her a ration and my canteen or whatever.
What are you doing right now, Kavi?
She's actually want to follow up on Flea with that Arcana check, just see like if there's any specific reason why she may have like an like her time frame may be off from like the party's own time frame.
All right, roll an arcana. You are vaguely aware that Strahd welcomed you to a place that doesn't exist in Faerun. That wherever Barovia is, whatever the fog is that you all arrived in, Xavier told you all that you're not dead, but this place isn't just part of the physical plane. It's something beyond that. But it's still beyond you. So Flea's still standing out by the door outside of this room. Kavi's still standing at the door. And Sarkis is still like just beyond her reach.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna touch the chest, but I'm gonna like, gently try to like coax her out with the ration and the drink.
She like steps forward a little bit more and like takes the ration from you. And like within a moment of having it. Oh, and you said like your water bottle as well?
Yeah.
So she'll like take those two pieces and immediately like run into another, like into the opposite corner and just kind of like squat down, and she starts to like ravishingly eat the ration as if it's the most delicious thing she's ever had. And you've had these hardtack rations before. They like take a lot of effort to chew. Usually like a single bite takes about 5 or 10 minutes to like add saliva to it so it's actually palatable, and she's devouring it like it's the most like wonderful meal ever prepared.
Good girl, good girl. Take your time. There's plenty more. There's plenty more. Take your time.
With keen mind, would I have been able to notice tracks or evidence of her entering?
Your keen mind's more of a memory thing and like your own spatial awareness,
Okay.
but you can look for tracks.
Yes, I would like to. I don't want to move too far from the group, though. But
And you're just doing it from outside there. You can do an investigation. You spot what seems to be her footprints. They seem impossibly old, as if they've been here for quite some time. But the way she described going through her rations, that's not necessarily absurdly long. But whatever amount of time that you were unconscious in the mist seems to be a lot longer than what Belinda told you when she asked for you all to search for her daughter. Which again is me alluding to the fact that you guys lost, or time works differently in Barovia as compared to Faerun.
Does Sophia look like she went through something similar to like Sarkis or Flea in terms of like being cursed at all?
You could do a perception check. She doesn't seem to have any physical abnormalities. Like, you can see Sarkis is like constantly wiping his nose. It almost like seems like quite red with the infection. And obviously it's quite easy to see Flea has a different physicality to him. She seems to be a little bit older than the girl who her mother gave you all the picture of. But otherwise, like physically, she seems to be the same child.
would you like to get back to your mother?
Has she come here?
No, but she's worried sick and has asked us to search for you.
Do you know how to get through the mist?
We will have to find a way.
No help to me. You don't even know.
What don't we know?
We're all doomed. There's no leaving this place. We might as well be dead. If we're not already. Just like her. And she points towards the chest. The Dark Ones own this land.
Come, come, darling. With the light and our knowledge, we'll find a way out of here. You're better safe with us than by yourself. Do you remember how you got in this room? How you got in this mansion?
And if you follow my string, I left it so I knew how I would get out.
And
But
what brought you in this place?
I came in through the mist, and the mist led me here. There was nowhere else to go. Have you walked into the mist?
Yes, yes, we have. We've been through the mist. We came here with you. So now that we have you, or for you, now that we have you, perhaps we will find our way home together. And I'll like walk over to her and try to get her to like take my hand to like walk out of here.
Um, roll. Are you trying to deceive her about having walked in the mist?
Not really deceive her, more like just like convince her that together we'll have a better chance of leaving this place than by ourselves without her. Like that
Roll a
eventually,
persuasion.
yeah, persuasion, yeah.
I don't think you understand the mist. But this place isn't safe for a lot more reasons than just it. The house is alive. I've seen it change before my eyes. It moves. It breathes. It feeds. And she points to the northwest of you all, or to the northeast of you all. You
All
actually
the more
see,
reason,
you actually see a door seems to be on that corner of the wall.
all the more reason to come with us and leave this place. Come on, Sophia.
I don't think we can leave, but I will follow you. So what are you all thinking?
What are you guys thinking? I'm definitely thinking try to go back the way we came, back downstairs, and um, potentially take her out of the house, but lay the children's bones to rest.
So do we want to try to like get her out of the house first? Then we continue with the children, or have her come with us with the children?
I don't know how much good it'll be to like leave her outside by herself is the only problem, but ideally we would get her to safety first, but I just don't know if it's any safer outside than inside.
I don't think it will let us leave. We're stuck in here. We're at sacrifices.
Must not think like that, darling. My name is Sarkis, and where I come from, my name has great meaning. It means protector or shepherd, the one who watches over. You can think of me as your personal protector, your shepherd sent by your mother to watch over you and keep you safe.
Mother can't help me here.
Don't worry, darling, that's why she sent us. So I guess we'll try to retrace our tracks out of here.
Intention being to climb out the window.
Yeah, get back down to the third floor through the window.
So when you walk up to the window, the rope that you left out of the window passes through a brick, and the window is bricked up. I told you it won't let us out. Like, not through the mortar, it passes through a brick.
Where did you sleep, little one?
I don't think I've slept since I've been here. But I've been hiding in different rooms at different times. It's pleased by the pain. Makes the house happy.
So were you the one making all the noises throughout the house?
I think not. I've been hiding in here for some time. I don't think I make too much noise.
Which room did you feel safest in, little one?
I've been in many rooms and they all have the same feeling that I'm being watched. When I doze off, I hear the same chants. This place, it wants a sacrifice.
What do you know of this chest of the maid? Do you know what's inside of it? Did you open it?
I've spoken with her.
Will you describe her? I want to know if, like, her description sounds like what killed Flea.
Her name was Elmira. I think she had a baby. I think Elizabeth killed the baby. I think her child was Walter. Can speak to her, but it's dangerous. She gets angry. She's not in control.
And do we get any kind of inclination if that's what Flea ran into?
Are you describing it to her?
Yeah, I guess I would, as long as I saw it or Flea could describe it to her.
I'll describe it.
I think that's the nursery. I think that's where she took care of Walter before he passed. And that's her body. They killed her after him.
As in the body is in the chest?
Yep, she'll point to the chest as she say that's her body. I can call her. I think these are the 2 rooms that her spirit is attached to. Just be nice. Be weary. She's dangerous when she loses control.
Not call her yet. As we look around the room, do we see any other like objects or anything that would give us like an inclination as to what this room is?
You can roll. Man, that investigation's fuck all for you now. You can do a perception, a straight intelligence, or an investigation at disadvantage. Everything in this room seems to be like prepared for storage. I think it's safe for you to recognize that this is simply like a extra storage room.
And looking at the chest with her body in it, does it appear to be locked or is it just like a chest?
Um, it seems to have been left like open. The latches like dropped down.
Okay, but the actual like top is closed and everything. We can't see in it or anything like that.
Yeah, there's a sheet over most of it. You can see like the. No, I imagine like that like classic like key shape where it's like a circle with like the like latch below almost like the hinge like below, and it like drops down, so it's almost like an exclamation point.
I don't know enough about these things. Seems like this is a troubled house and we need to lay these spirits to rest, but I don't know how. It seems like the children need to be taken to the crypt, but I don't know what we need to do with this woman. It sounds to me like poor Walter was the son of the father of these children with the nurse, not his wife.
And it looks like I don't see any windows on this level.
Um, there were a few points outside that you would expect windows, but at this point, every single window is bricked up.
That's what I thought.
At this point, you all would gather that every single time you stepped outside, it was because the house was ushering you forward, not because you were allowed outside. Like, you were being pushed. And it's the same thing that she described, that the house has been toying with you, and it's toyed with her. Do you need to speak with Elmira? Are you ready?
Looking at the party, perhaps the only route left.
I'm wondering what's through this door right in front of me.
That just
Or-
appeared maybe an hour and a half ago. It's not been long, but I had never seen it before.
I say we talk to Elmira.
Remember what she said. We must not anger her.
So she's gonna walk over towards the chest, and she kind of sits down, crosses her legs Indian style, or I guess really more like full lotus. And as she sits, she starts to speak kind of quietly, and she like lowers her voice lower and lower until it's just like audible that she's still speaking. And after a few moments, you hear her say, Elmira. And then she says some other things that are just beyond like the auditory level. And you hear her again say this. And she seems to kind of be repeating a few phrases before, after a moment, almost floating through the stairs, you see a spectral blue figure. And this glow comes up from the southwest of you all. And once Sophia starts to recognize it, she spins on the ground, still sitting full lotus, and she looks at the woman and she says, Elmira, they've come to help. They were hoping to speak with you. They think they can help Walter? And you see as the blue woman seems to be cradling like a swaddling cloth in her arm. And she kind of looks up at you all. What would you like to ask?
Myra, we're here to help you, to help the children, to help Walter. What do you need us to do?
He just kind of stares at you blankly. Can't hurt him anymore.
Don't want to hurt him. We want to help you, help your child, help you too, to be at peace and be together. What would you ask of us?
Can't help my Walter. You can't help me.
Are you trapped here?
We're all trapped here. Every one of us. No one will ever leave this place. No one will ever leave. Avi, Flea, any thoughts?
Kavi just like slightly approaches her with her head like deeply bowed and like almost respectfully. And what she asks is, Miss Elmira, is there a wish you want granted?
He looks at you a little bit differently. And then you see as she kind of glosses back over into like a blue sheen. But she seemed like almost human for a second. There's nothing that you can do.
But ma'am, there must be something or else you wouldn't be stuck here.
We're all stuck here, darling. This is Strahd's hell. We're all being punished.
Is she still affected by that charm?
Yeah, you'd still be within that 24 hours. Does anyone else have any thoughts?
Kavi hesitates for a second before asking, did Strahd do this to you?
She is almost like staring at her skeleton as she coddles the spectral like swaddling cloth in her arms, and she's like staring between what appears to be her caring for her child and what is her body. And she looks back at you with a very like unnatural look. Strahd would have nothing to do with these people. That bitch worshipped him. She turned Gustav into a terrible person. All of this is because they worshipped him. They worshipped the Dark Ones. They control this land. Everything is doomed.
And you don't know what it is that you need to be freed of this place?
In an instant, she just gets viciously violent as she yells, and you just hear her scream, "You can't help us!" And she's gonna disappear.
Perhaps we should take this chest with the remains of the children and try to lay them to rest in the. Perhaps then they can all be at peace.
I am not sure we should do that without asking the good lady.
It appears the way we came was blocked, so perhaps we need to discover a way down or out, one way or the other. So we can leave the chest behind for now, but if we find a way, I think we need to take her remains with us, or at least try and find the remains of Walter and lay him to rest as well.
Which door would you like to explore through?
I'm guessing that way this house has been described, that there's only one way we can go. And you'll see him kind of lean heavy on his walking stick, and he'll look straight at the door that Sophia said popped up about an hour and a half ago.
My thoughts exactly.
Lee, you would have a pretty solid idea about this time that is almost the exact same moment that Kavi picked up the letter from Strahd.
Ah. And I tell the group,
House is inviting you down there. I don't know if you have a choice. But if it wants you there, not for our good.
I'm asking the group if they want to go through the new door.
Or if we try ignoring it and just go downstairs?
Can try, but I suspect we have no choice. But a few steps away.
She has already killed me today. I would rather not look for a second try.
What are y'all doing?
Yes, I suspect. I'm just going to say really quick, I suspect those stairs lead to the nursery, and the nursery is her safe space where no one is to enter, but
As you wish.
I need an actual decision.
we should take a vote. Where would you each like to go?
Magic door.
Avi, Sarkis?
I really don't like the idea of a house that has control over us. So I kind of want to ignore it and take the stairs.
Beauties of a three-person team.
We can at least walk to the stairs and see if it's an option. If not, we know we'll have to take the new door. But perhaps if we see if it's even an option, then fate will decide for us anyway. So I guess I'll vote for checking the stairs to see if it's even an option before taking the door.
So you all can walk down the stairs. You see that the piece of string seems to have been cut short about halfway down the stairs. As they turn north and start to walk down to the next flight, you see that there is a door both to your west and to your east. Are you going to walk through one of those?
Will Sophia come with us, whichever way we go? She coming with us?
Yeah, she'll follow you. In the long run, like, I don't want to, like, cut you all short of your choices, but the house isn't going to let you leave. So, depending on what you do, you can either re-encounter the nursemaid if you take the left door, or you walk out onto the balcony on the 3rd floor if you walk out there. If you don't walk next to the animated armor, it doesn't attack you. You can walk down to the bottom level, or to the 2nd level. You can walk around. You can enjoy the house as much as you'd like, but the moment you go to look at a door, or look at a window, or walk towards one of the outer doors, they're bricked up. And eventually
Okay,
you all
and
will
there's-
find your way back here.
So there's no way to the crypt other than probably through that door leads us the only option. Okay, that's fine. There's no need to encounter the maid again then. I guess we would just eventually come to pass that we need to take the magic door. Looks as if fate or something else has decided for us. The door awaits. And with that, I guess we will go through the door.
I do warn you, it won't let us leave.
Perhaps we can, through numbers and strength of will, leave peacefully. And we'll go down the stairs. I'm also curious as we go down the stairs how many levels it feels like we're descending.
I think with keen mind, Flea would be able to share for you all that you descend about 50 feet.
That would put us in the basement.
Yeah, so it appears like we're in the basement or crypt as such.
So, as you all walk down towards the basement, you will step out of this circular staircase into a mud and stone underground dungeon-like area that is covered in kind of like a slight moss and like mildew, and there seems to be a hall that leads to the east, and then it turns north and south. And I need to take a break, and we'll come back in a few moments as you all can listen to the start of the chants that are welcoming you into the dungeon. He is the ancient. He is the land.
Whatever we encounter hostile, we need to go like full front loaded, like try and just attack it as hard as we can.
Leo pulled his rapiers.
'Cause we're like far too weak to try to like tiptoe around stuff, I feel like.
Is everybody else pretty much still here?
Yeah, I'm still here.
I'm here.
All right, word. So anybody who didn't notice, I think the volume is probably somewhat low on it, but the sound for this like next section is all in Roll20 because it's going to be this chant for a while. But yeah, you all are looking at this stone foundation that seems to be the crypt underneath the Durst Manor. And the children have warned you that this is where the monster resides. What would you like to do?
Slay the monster. So what are our options for where to go from here?
From the stairs, the corridor leads to the east. Can you see this right now?
Oh, sorry,
Yeah.
yeah. I just had to move
Okay.
my thing over.
Yeah, so you can see the corridor leads to the east, and then it seems to turn to the north and to the south.
And can we tell which direction the chanting is coming from, or is it like an omnipotent, omnipresent type thing?
Roll an investigation.
Can you all tell where that chant is coming from? And I'll put my ear up to one direction and signal for them to put their ear up to the other.
So we end up with two of you pointing to the north and one of you pointing to the south.
I take it I'm pointing to the south.
Nope. I'm not telling you who's pointing where because you guys don't get to know. When you're doing a group check, it's an average.
Well, majority rules. To the north we go. Right? You said 2 north and 1 south?
Yep.
Okay, I say we go north then, if that's where we all think it's coming from, or majority of us think it's coming from.
Okay, let's roll.
So moving to the north, the first thing that you all come across is an opening to the east of you. It seems to be a small corridor that, after a few moments, ends in a wall.
And again, can we get an inclination as to which direction it is, whether it's like the northwest or east?
Probably northwest.
I'll look to the group. Shall we?
Let us go.
Can we try and be sneaky?
Sure. What's everybody's stealth bonus?
+5.
Plus
Plus
6?
4.
Oh, we're pretty sneaky. Nice.
Between the four of you, there's not a sound to be heard other than he is the ancient. He is the land. So you see a set of staircase that seem to lead down maybe another 5 or 10 feet into a smaller room, perhaps, or a small dining table kind of sits in front of you. I think that's probably about what you see from the top of the stairs.
I reach into one of my holsters and hand my dagger over to Sophia. You know, she's not a non-combatant. She may need it.
She looks at you with a little bit of a smile. She's like, I've got my own. But thank you, honey. Can you do things with your tail?
Would you like to find out?
Just seems useful. But I think but she actually pulls out 2 daggers is what I was getting at.
Well, I'm going to point out that, like, right now, her tail's holding her leer.
Oh, very nice. Yeah, so she'll kind of like look at that and she'll be like, can you do you play with it like that? Sorry. We should it's I've heard of your kind, but mother keeps me kind of isolated and I've not seen I'm sorry. So as you start to walk down the stairs, you see the room kind of opens up before you. There's a small, like, 4-person table that seems to be, like, set in the northern end of this room.
I just want to comment that I love Sophia's a little savage with her double daggers.
Oh, and she's just as silent as you all. It probably won't be long before everybody recognizes that she is essentially a little thief, a little rogue.
So yeah, I guess we're gonna keep being sneaky as we can and come down here.
There's like almost like a little bit like deeper of like a stale like musk wetness in this area. A little bit lower, things smell a little bit more rotten. There's cobwebs and a lot of like almost like muck kind of growing on things. Hard to move Sifia and open stuff. So you see another hall like directly to the west of you all. There's an open kind of south and east to you. You see a little bit of a corridor that opens and maybe the first signs of like bedding inside of this little alcove. And it basically like opens up into a larger room to the south of you.
When you say bedding, does it appear to be adult or child bedding, or can we tell? Is it like for one person or many?
You can roll a perception check. Seems to be for a human.
All right, we will keep exploring.
What do
Do we
y'all
get any idea if the chanting is stronger from one direction or another?
roll a perception? Seems be about equal in both directions right now.
I guess I will point to the west and like kind of shrug my shoulders. I'll like wave for them to follow me if I have some kind of inclination where to go.
Would I have a better idea of where the sound's coming from, just from like experience with like instruments and whatnot?
Roll a perception with your performance bonus. How about that? Like essentially it's a performance perception check. It seems to be coming from this westerly direction. The acoustics of this place seem to create a maze-like like reverberation of the sound. There's stairs to the south of you. They continue on before you see the corridor seems to open up again.
All right, we will continue on then.
What are you all
Still
doing?
going, still going slow and creepy silent as possible. Just kind of like checking the corners, kind of peeking around them as best we can. But I do have a torch, so I don't know how secretive we can be if like we're lighting up a hallway.
Yeah, it's pitch black down here without the torches. So you're not doing a whole lot of sneaking. You like walk into this room and see that there's like some makeshift pillars, and then in the center of the room there's a well that seems to lead into the underground.
So keep kind of exploring around then.
Do I see anything out of the ordinary at the well?
Roll a perception. What do you think is ordinary in a house that has ghosts, bricks up walls when you walk somewhere?
Does it seem like it's exceptionally deep?
It goes as deep as your torchlight goes. Do you want to drop something down it?
Flea has a bag of ball bearings, the little small one, so I'm going to drop one down.
You hear it fall for a while. About 10, 15 seconds. And then you hear that didn't. Why isn't it playing?
Are you trying to talk? We can't hear you.
I don't know why it's not playing the track that I was trying to play. Alright, so you drop it down and... Damn, I gotta fucking fix that. I didn't realize that it didn't upload the track. The chant seems to stop for a second, and instead of saying, "He is the ancient, he is the land," you hear for one kind of breath, "One must die." And then it goes back to chanting, "He is the ancient."
Backing away.
I will point over, like down at the well, like down, and then put my.
I heard "put my," and then you cut out.
Oh, sorry. I'll point over towards the well and then put my hand up to my ear, like as in, is the chanting coming from down there?
It seems to be coming from all around you.
Okay, well, I'd rather not get lowered down the well by myself, so I guess we'll keep exploring.
Okay, this is going to be redundant. We're going to do an Arcana check on the well and make sure it's not like a Bobby Mackey's well.
What?
All right, have you heard of Bobby Mackey's at all?
No. That's what I was really getting at.
So it's like this bar, I think like Kentucky, where it has like a massive well in its basement that's just like haunted by like a shit ton of demons, apparently.
You don't get like a magical understanding from the well. There doesn't seem to be anything in particular about that. Like, you're already inside of a house that's clearly alive.
I'm gonna just kind of keep creeping around, exploring.
Just going through all of these different corridors.
Yeah, just sort of eliminating the options.
It's just like one moldy bed set after another until you eventually come around to a set of stairs that leads to the east.
Going up or down?
Leading up.
Probably right back where we came from, but we could eliminate everything but the well for now, and that be our last option. That sound good to everybody? Keep creeping around, and if we don't find anything else, we'll go the well route.
Yep.
Yeah.
Is this a wall or is it just the map not being so good?
Like, these are all walled in little cubbies.
I see the wall.
And also just observing, like Sarkis will like hold up like 6 or 7 fingers, as in like that's how many bed sets he's seen so far. He'll do like the bedding sleeping gesture and then hold up like 7 fingers, like there's a lot down here.
Might able to get more of a pinpoint location on like the direction of the chanting.
Roll another perception check.
Performance perception, or just normal perception.
You can do the performance again. It seems to be coming from that like southern corridor that they started to walk down. Let's see. Sarkis. Roll a perception check for me. As you start to walk down that hallway, the sounds kind of gather your attention, and in a moment, the floor drops out below you, and you are going to take 3 bludgeoning as you fall 10 feet down and landing. Oh shit, I forgot about this. My bad. Let me turn this all down for a moment on the chance. I was supposed to have you all level up to level 2 when you came down here. That was part of what I was thinking when I went to the restroom. Can you guys level up to level 2 for me?
Hell yes.
How do I do that?
I need everybody, once you know your class that you're going to go for, I need you to roll a hit die so we know how many hit points you get. And then if you are just doing it with the class that you have, you just have to click the little anvil and hammer, and it'll take you to your class, and you can increase the level to 2. And then you'll go into there under your hit dice and add whatever you rolled plus your Constitution modifier. So Sarkis, you'll add 4 plus your Constitution. /R before. /R space 1d8. So you'll do 3 plus your Constitution modifier. And then Kavi, if yours is a d8 as well. 3 d8s, that's fucking craziness. Are you there, Key?
I'm here.
Can you roll a d8 for your hit die? So you can do 4 plus your Constitution modifier. And then, Arcus, you are going to take 3 piercing damage as you fall down, and oh wait, no, I said that opposite. 3 bludgeoning damage as you fall 10 feet, and you get impaled on spikes, taking 5 piercing damage.
For some reason, it doesn't want to like put my hit points correctly.
Let me take a look. Could just be that first page of your character sheet.
Like it's showing up as 14 when I put in that I rolled another 4 with my con modifier, but then as soon as I go back to my regular character sheet and like try to do the long rest like thing, it doesn't. It goes back to 10.
So what? You rolled the 4. Rolled hit point should be 12. Got you as max 14 on my page. Try reloading.
Oh, okay. Let me reload it again. Huh, that's so weird. Yeah, it's just putting me back to 10 and not showing. Like it's showing me as level 2, but it's not doing that. But that's fine. I can just know. I'll keep track on my token. So I took 3 from the bludgeoning and how much from the spike?
3 bludgeoning, 5 spike.
I'll have to track mine randomly also. It's
I got you.
doing it.
It had to be switched on the home page there, but it should be set now for you. You should be at 13.
Now it's asking me for death save, so I must have done something wrong.
Try reloading it. You should be back to 13. So I feel like Kavi may have a spell, but are you all otherwise good to go at that point? Like after like the little bit for hit dice?
Oh yeah, I'm good.
All right, so yeah, you fall into that little pit, just beyond where everybody is. Essentially missing that little spot was unwalked on.
Flea wants to investigate. He also has a coil of rope if we need to give him something to climb with.
Yep, he's 10 feet down. He definitely needs help. No investigation needed.
Yeah, I'll attempt to climb up the rope. I'll grab onto it and say, "Pull me up."
At a strength of 10, I don't know how much I can do.
It's not difficult.
Yeah, I only weigh like 40 pounds, I think so.
I pull them up.
So you all see that there's a trick 10-foot section of the floor in this corridor, and then there are stairs that lead down to the south of you, and stairs that lead up to the south and east of you.
I will look back and just very quietly say, and how loud was it when I fell down that trap?
Like in reference to you like getting impaled, did you scream? I'd say a performance.
Yeah, like in general, not just me getting impaled, but also like if there was crashing rocks or like, you know what I mean?
Doesn't seem to be too loud. The actual like impaling process was probably pretty painful. The chanting didn't seem to change.
Okay, perfect. That's what I was kind of getting at. So, all right, I say continue on to the south. Keep going down. I'm gonna like signal to one of them to walk first because I'm badly injured.
So pretty much to jump that little spot, everybody needs to roll a d20 and just not roll a 1. That's a 1. Of fucking course. Oh god. So Key, you are going to take 1 bludgeoning and 6 piercing as you fall down. Scythia leans over the edge and she helps you up on the other side.
She like pulls you up by your tail. So I'll tap Flea on the shoulder and say, "Looks like you're taking the lead." Yeah, so we'll keep going down.
So you walk around that corridor of the stairs. There seems to be another stairway that leads down another level.
Keep on keeping on.
If you are only recording on your token, these tokens are old, so they don't work. If that makes sense. Like the recording, are you doing it on D&D Beyond for those hit points?
Wait, so what should mine be? 6 of 14 or 8 of 14? I can't remember now. I took 3 bludgeoning and 5 piercing, so I should be at 6, right?
Yeah, that sounds right. Well, that's what I'm saying. Overall, it's more important to record those things on D&D Beyond than on those tokens.
Well, yeah, normally I always keep track on D&D Beyond, but my character sheet is not showing me as 14 hit points, so I don't want to, like, mess with it and override it, assuming it will be fixed, like, when we go to play next game. I tried, like, reloading it. I tried everything. But yeah, every time we go to a new level, I'll just update it.
So you all see the hall goes north in front of you before turning down another staircase to the east.
Now my screen is showing black.
Scroll up and to the left, northwest corner. Can you see it?
Yeah, I'm good to go.
Yeah, we'll just keep going, but again, assuming that Flea is leading the way because he's the only one who hasn't fallen in the pit yet.
So you guys round that corner, you see a large room that has about 15 alcoves that all have different things just kind of set inside of them, and a bunch of rudimentary pillars that are like made out of wood, and they're just like pried into place. So like this wooden pillar holds up the roof above, kind of in a support, almost like a mine shaft.
And as we kind of like hold up the torchlight to see, can we tell what's in the little alcoves?
Make a perception check.
Oh, sorry, perception should be +2 to that. I hit performance.
You see like a knife that seems to be made out of like some sort of white, semi-shiny, perhaps it's like a bleached bone. See like an iron pendant.
Where exactly are they?
Just like around the edges of this room. Like every 5 feet, there's essentially a little cubby hole. Maybe not every 5.
And this room seems like it's a like dead end room.
There's ways. There's 2 different ways to leave. And this map really fucking sucks for actually showing the ways out of the rooms. They're basically like arched corridors there. One leads down into that area, and the other one seems to have water in the base of it, and it leads to the south there.
All right, I would like to just walk around the perimeter of this room and see if any of the little like cubbies look like they would have something to do with the child, like children or children's toys or like little kids' clothing or a little crib, anything like children or baby like.
Yeah, there's definitely things that might perk your eye there. Kind of a difficult description. Roll an Arcana check. Yeah, like you see perhaps the shrunken head that might be a halfling skull. You see like a little bag that maybe is like a child's like toy. Perhaps like a folded garment that maybe it's like a baby's um like swaddling cloth.
Oh man, I wonder if I could try to like put like one of the bags of bones like near one of the things or something, and see if that's like the resting place for the kids, or like like as if this is like the crypt that's correlated to like the two children and then the baby. Just kind of see if I get any kind of reaction.
Like put the bones in that little cubby and nothing seems to happen.
Okay, it's worth a shot. All right. Well, it seems like one probably leads to the well, and the other probably leads to destination ground zero.
Yep, pretty much.
So I guess we'll just go ground zero. Can we try to check for traps as we go, like cautiously?
You can roll investigation at disadvantage. Walking through this area, you see like different bones scattered across the floor. There's like manacles and chains all over the walls. Besides the fact that this is probably a prison, doesn't seem to be any traps.
All right.
Does the chanting seem to be getting louder?
It's probably getting a little bit louder. I just don't want to physically make it.
So this is essentially a cell block or something like that.
Yep, there's chains and bones all through this area.
Is it just like random scattered bones, or does there appear to be like any sort of like intact bodies that would be worth like looking at further?
Roll a medicine check. There seems to be pretty much like a body or more in almost each one of these little sections.
And this is basically like a dead end, like cell block.
It would appear at this point, yeah.
Sounds like we need to go down the water slide.
It looks like that's our only option left.
If you move back towards the that actual like the water side of that area, there's actually a grate of metal that seems to block off the other end of it. Like it's a slant down into the water and into this metal grate.
So this whole floor appears to be a dead end, as far as we can tell. Then.
At present, yeah.
Does the iron grate look old and rusted and maybe that we could move it? I do have a crowbar.
You could certainly try.
Roll strength.
Yeah, you can try a strength check. You're like trying to get under the like portcullis, and it seems to be locked in place, and there's nothing that you can pry on.
Is there like an actual lock on it?
Roll a perception. Doesn't seem to have anything from this side. Just seems to be like 6 bars.
So these alcoves have one of those knives and an iron pendant, right?
I mean, there's things in like a bunch of alcoves in there. There's a lot of alcoves. Are you going to take time to study them all?
Now,
Like, essentially, Sarkis heard one of the ones that would have been visible from across the room, and then a description of the ones that would possibly be childlike. That's what I gave you answers to. But about every 10 feet, there's like 15 different alcoves, essentially, in this room.
okay, what's the one that I'm sitting in front of look like?
It's not like decided like that.
Okay, fair enough.
It's like, you could have. I feel like that was the one that I went with. It was the dagger. So it seems to be a human bone that is carved into a dagger.
All right,
All
I'm
right.
curious. Did you mean to open up like a little more visibility through the grate right there?
Yeah, because he said he was going down there to pry on it with the pry bar, so you guys would have the
can
first sight of the actual area.
Okay, so we can kind of see there's something through there. And does it appear that that is where the chanting is coming from? Like, is it getting louder that way?
It's loudest down here. There's not much more like difference that you can really attest to. At this point, it would be deafening to hear this chanting.
And we can kind of see that there's like 2 sets of stairs, but that the one appears to lead like almost into the dungeon wall.
Essentially, yeah, at that grate is the lowest point. He would be able to describe that, yeah, there seems to be some sort of like walkway around the edge of that room that's like out of the water.
All right, I guess I would signal to them that we need to go back into like that dungeon area and look for some sort of like trigger or something that would like open like a trap door or secret hideout. So I would just kind of take the torch around and try to like investigate like first that initial area that's closest to the stairs and then just kind of going around.
You
Like
want me to
something
roll an
on-
investigation?
Something on the wall that would like perhaps look like a hidden lever or like secret, you know, whatever, a stone that stands out, just anything that kind of catches our eye.
Like against that wall, you don't really see anything that jumps out at you. Flea
And
like
then I
gets
guess-
distracted by the bones, and it just seems to be like a small graveyard.
Yeah, just kind of going down that same wall now, assuming that maybe one of these has a passage through. Maybe like the second or third one, try that.
Just roll, I guess, like a series of perception checks as you go down that wall, Sarkis. So, like, that first one seems to be nothing. You're, like, kind of pushing the bones out of the way. Second one. Ah, fuck it. That's just... After, like, an hour of searching through this room, you spot that there's a secret door in that little corridor. And you're able to pull a little lever that opens the door before you.
Son of a bitch, we found it.
As you open it, you see a large pool in front of you. There is a pile of refuse in the southern edge of this corridor. There are chains hanging from the ceiling in this whole massive area. And up high, about 20 feet above the actual floor, there is a second like balcony almost that is overlooking this entire area.
Can we see anything in the bottom of the pool?
The water seems pretty murky and pretty disgusting. It seems a lot like just stagnant, filthy water.
Is there anything like a pebble on the floor I can toss into the water?
You've got ball bearings.
I kind of look at the rest of the group and see if they're okay with it. Gesturing, throwing a stone in.
I'll point a little sausage thumb up, like, go ahead.
I'm going to take like 4 or 5, maybe 10 of them. It's a bag of 1,000. And I'm just going to scatter them across the pond.
My bad.
Pool.
I missed that the moment you all walked in here, it goes silent.
Kavi's like pressed up against the wall, like she's refusing to get any closer to that pool of water.
Does that change your thoughts on scattering the ball bearings, the fact that it went silent?
Hell yeah.
But no sign of chanters or anything. Just silence now.
No, as far as the light goes, I mean, I guess really you guys don't even have a view of the opposite side of this area. But, like, as far as your light goes, it's just an empty room.
I'm going to ask the rest of the group if they wanted me to tie something on an arrow and light it on fire and shoot it.
We could potentially like throw a torch or try to get to that center area. I'm not even like 100% sure what we're looking for or trying to do.
Just to see if anything happens, Kavi takes her lyre and plays an E note across on the string.
This room has fantastic acoustics. But as the sound dies off, nothing seems to change.
All right, I guess, can I toss my torch onto that center circle area?
Yeah, roll a dexterity check. Seem to land it on there with no problem.
And the illumination doesn't change anything. We can't see anything on the other side of the room still.
Yep, nothing really to see.
And if I poke my stick down in the water, how deep does it appear to be? Like, is it more than, I guess my stick would be probably like 3 or 4 feet tall?
You're probably about 5 feet above the water, just on that ledge. So you probably can't even poke the water with your stick where you're at.
Oh, okay. So we're still pretty high up then.
Look at the ceiling where the chains are. Do they look like they can move, like through like a pulley system?
What do you mean, do they move?
Like, if there was a body hanging from them, would they move into the pool of water and drown someone?
Roll. God, what kind of creepy ass check is that, Kavi?
A death sentence?
Let's say medicine, history, or oh no, I feel like those are the two, kind of medicine or history, maybe. There's hooks hanging from some of the chains, and they could probably impale somebody and be used to raise them above or perhaps into the water.
Yep, she's pressed against her wall and her tail's like swaying and like kind of like how a cat is when it's very uncomfortable.
I will look over to Flea and can we reach any of them and maybe swing across to the center platform?
Would I be able to take some rope and, maybe throw a loop over one of them or something?
You could certainly try. Roll a dexterity check. So you feel pretty successful that you're able to get the rope over one of the hooks a little bit further in, and that you could probably swing over onto that central dais.
Well, the general idea would be from there to loop it onto another hook farther in.
That's what I mean. Like, you could get it on a hook that swinging would take you towards the dais.
Okay, there's no way I could swing it. I could swing the other end of the rope towards another hook then.
What are you trying to do? Get the rope over 2 different hooks?
Yeah, I just threw one end over to get to the one hook. Do I have enough rope that I could toss it over to another hook? I'm trying to leave the rope behind so the other folks can get over.
You can hand part of the rope to them.
Okay, handing the rope, and here goes the death sentence I'm going to swing over.
So you've got the middle of the rope on a hook in, like, beyond the middle of this room. Draw a little dot where you want to throw the hook, where you're throwing the rope over the hook.
How do I draw a dot?
The third tool from the top lets you draw. If you hover over it, you should be able to go to freehand, which is second from the top.
I don't see him, so just figure from where.
Like, are you trying to throw the rope over a hook out that far and then have a rope going like that?
That was the idea. I only have 50 foot of rope. Forget it.
Yeah, so if all three of you have rope, you could probably do that. Essentially, with what you all are working with, you're probably throwing that rope over like a hook that's kind of out here. And even then, you're just swinging there and you're hoping that you'll be able to throw the rope back to them.
Okay, let's do it. Dexterity check.
Yep, dex check.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Curse of Strahd Twice Bitten, the show where
Where a flea dies over and over again. Everything went quiet. Is everybody still there?
Oh, my bad. I was pressing the caps lock. So as you swing over into the center, the chant becomes, it starts back up, and you hear, "One must die, one must die, one must die, one must die." And we're going to stop there as you land on the central dais, and the chanting is louder than ever, and hopefully I can get the actual chant fixed for next week.